this conversation starts calm and then everything shifts. Let's break it down on Choir Media.
Together, because you women are going to have to come back to the men. It ain't for us to come to y'all. Y'all going to have to come to us. That us meaning men in general. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 28.
All right. What do we got?
Okay, so I was listening to you, and honestly, I totally agree with like everything that you're saying tonight. Honestly, because as I'm watching, I'm realizing that there's this. When you said short term, there's this survivor mode mentality that us women in my age group definitely have, and I know for a fact that I inherited that being raised by a mom who's a single mother and coming from a lineage of single parents, because it's about take care of the kids, keep food on the
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
grind.
it's immediate.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure, for sure. So I think any woman who comes on here and doesn't see that um is just not being honest and not being real with themselves, and understanding that it's okay to want a man. It's okay to say I'm not happy without a relationship, but they want to stay looking like a strong woman or an independent woman. I don't need it. And I had to reprogram myself years ago. Like, no, that is not
All
going.
right.
I don't want to have to be the strong black woman my whole life, because that didn't work.
I've got a question for you. How does that go over with women that you're familiar with who haven't reprogrammed themselves?
Um, I think it goes over well. However, there are still mental blockages that cause them to still live life the same way because of habit, you know.
So what I'm surprised to hear it goes over well, because what I usually hear is when a woman like yourself realizes that, yeah, we were all raised in an immediate situation, and that's not healthy for men or women. And when you decide you want to get over it and do something, it tends to be scary to other people who you leave stuck behind. So usually I hear men and women say that their friend circle is kind of hard on them, but you're saying your friends are accepting of it?
I don't have a whole lot of
Okay.
women single friends. I just don't have
Okay. Okay.
but people that I do speak to are pretty progressive.
Okay.
Like,
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense then.
yeah,
That makes sense. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you
yeah,
very much.
no problem.
See, and she makes a good point. And that's why, as direct as I am, I understand why it's there, because so many of us were raised in single parent households because it was about survival. But that cannot be our default position. Let's switch it completely from relationships. There's something called a money blueprint. And you think about every other community, the dollar circulates in other communities 17 days, 12 days, 7 days, 6 days, even in the Hispanic community. In the black community, the average black dollar circulates 6 hours. Why? There's a theory out there that says our money blueprint. Our money blueprint is the way we were taught to think about money. Think about how us single people, single parent household people were raised up. We were always having to rob Peter to pay Paul. Bills, money was scarce. Uh, never had enough of it. It was it was a source of stress. It was not a tool, and it was certainly not something that you could use to go on the offense. Then you go into other communities where, like some people in the Jewish community, where they teach their kids financial camp at 6 years old, where they're starting to be taught the rule of 72 and compounding and everything else, where money is not the root of all evil. We're given really bad information about money to where our money blueprint is negative. So we get rid of our money as soon as possible because we weren't taught how to use it, and we feel bad by having it. Versus people who really know how to use money, do different things. Well, if you understand that with our money blueprint, think about our relationship blueprint. We were raised in survivor mode being in single parent households. That's why it is going to be so incumbent upon the women to have conversations with the women, to give women You ladies are going to have to start encouraging women to get in relationships. That's what it comes down to. Because the men want relationships. The women who want relationships fear saying they want relationships because they're so used to being gang piled on by. So like I said on Monday, we need the silent majority to become vocal. You silent women are going to have to start pushing back against the loudmouth minority of vocal women who are anti-relationship, anti-anything else. And stop making them the story. Just like you say, black men need to stand up and take back their image. Well, that's what black men are doing. Because black men have to shout that other stuff down, show that other stuff down. Y'all are going to have to do it too, because here's the reality. The men are not coming. The men are already there. You got to come to where the men are. And I think that is going to be the hardest thing. How such a group of people who are strong, independent, don't need no man, don't submit, don't do anything, who are so prideful, for you to have to actually move the distance you have to move and the time frame you have to move in order to not die alone. But make no mistake, women, black women in particular, for the women who don't move, there are other women coming from other directions who will move in there. To where by the time you decide to move, there may be no vacancies. Till the next time, let me see what's going on over here. Yeah, that's what it really comes down to. When winter comes, ladies, like I said last night, how many of you people watched my stream last night when I talked to the medical student? Talking about what can we black women do to keep our high value black men, because I'm in medical school and all the high value black men want white women. And I said, well, no, the black men that you're interested in, you said they want white women. Have you asked these brothers? Yeah, they say they want white women because they've had bad experiences with black women in the past, and that they've done this, they've done that. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Well, I'm trying to get information. I'm like, good. Then what you going to do about it? You going to go take Jamal from Becky? No. Why? I was taught to respect her. I was like, that's the problem. Do you think Becky would take you from Jamal if she wanted him? Not could she, do you think she would? Well, yeah, I think she'd try, because they were taught to compete for their high value men, their top 1% men. But you got black women were not taught to compete for us. That's why I said you want a top 1% man to be available and single, waiting for you. And that very man, if he was there, you would be interested in, because wouldn't no other women be interested in? You better realize you're going to have to start competing for the very men you didn't think you needed. Oh, shit. That's a word. You're going to have to start competing for the very men you did not think you needed. Or the alternative is peace out.
Wow. Honestly, it's refreshing to see someone actually wake up and grasp the reality of their situation. That energy is rare these days. From the way she's presenting herself, it's clear that she's being genuine, not fake, not performing for social media clout, not trolling. She's not trying to play games or manipulate the narrative. She's internalizing what's being said and reflecting on it, which is exactly the difference between growth and stagnation. You can tell when someone is truly listening versus just hearing words. She's absorbing the advice, connecting it to her own life, and clearly understanding where she stands and what she needs to do. That level of self-awareness is a game changer, because let's be honest, most people on these calls aren't like that. Most people hear the guidance, get defensive, and repeat the same patterns over and over. But she's showing accountability and openness, and that's huge. If she keeps this mindset, I genuinely believe she has a great chance at finding a quality partner. Not just any man, but a decent, high-value man who sees the effort, maturity, and self-awareness she's bringing to the table. That combination of genuine character plus willingness to grow is exactly what makes someone attractive in the long term. And that's why it's exciting to watch, Because when you see someone who is ready, willing, and capable of reflecting on their past, taking responsibility, and learning from it, you know that the path ahead is open. She's not just floating through life, hoping for luck. She's actively making herself the type of woman a good man will want to build with. So seriously, you go, girl. Keep this energy, keep this awareness, and don't fall back into old patterns. She's proven that personal growth pays off, and that's something worth celebrating. Moments like this remind me why it's worth watching these shows, not for drama or entertainment, but for seeing the rare instances of real transformation. In this one, she's got that potential, no doubt about it.